I know you're like, wait a minute, that's not the beautiful Sky Covington. That's not the sultry, amazing, positive, uplifting, high energy, angelic voice of the one and only Sky Covington. I know you're saying that right now. But around here, on Preservation of Jazz, we preserve the energy of our people. We make sure that if our people got to float here safely, we in place. So I'm going to take this time. I'm trying to bring up some Sky Covington music, but I'm going to take this time just to inform you guys on a little bit of what Sky has going on. And look, I may or may not play the music. I always feel more uplifted when I got Sky's voice in the background. Let's see if I can get a little bit of Sky going on. Then I'm going to read off. I haunt the hosts' pages up here. I try to make sure I'm abreast of everything they doing. So shout out to Sky Covington. Alright. Let's get this, see what's happening. There we go. We gonna turn it down, because I just want to read off this stuff. Okay, so Sky always has events going on. Sky always has stuff going on because she's always doing great things for the city. In fact, she's probably coming here from doing something amazing for the city. But I was reading it. I just want to read off a little bit of what's going on tonight, I believe. Peace and love. Join us, me, with Sky Covington on Sky Covington Show. Now, every night it'll be Sky, but right now it's just me. Join us every Wednesday night, the Preservation of Jazz Hour at 6 p.m., featuring all things jazz. This week we will be having a conversation with pianist Bill Mayer. Okay, also pianist the late Hazel Scott, a special edition, and they're gonna have Sky's playing her song tonight. All right, so we're gonna have a special song by Sky tonight. The song's called Dig Thy Neighbor. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing that, especially now that I know it's going to be like a beatnik poetry style. So I remember they did beatnik poetry on Sundays at the Ralston. It used to be a cool experience. It would be like several people just kind of sitting around and just enjoying the night, enjoying the energy with each other. BYOB. It was 420 friendly, so I was happy. But so now I'm glad to hear she's doing a project with that actual vibe in her music, that beatnik poetry style. So that's cool. And I do want to say we are thrilled to feature poet, musician, actor, and producer Robert Seven Shannon. That's Robert Seven Shannon III on WJZZ Cool TV. Hosted by Sky Covington, man. So that is going to be live, y'all. That is going to be on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. That is this. This is live on those platforms. So when Sky comes in, she's going to... I ain't going to tell y'all everything, all right? I just wanted to try my hand at a little bit of PSA stuff, all right? And then I see she got studio... I love it. Sky has everything. Let me show y'all a little picture. This is one of the little flyers. Yeah, it's on my phone. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what I do. I rock with my people. And it's another event tonight, Wednesday on the 14th. Tonight, I think that is. Let me check. Is that tonight? Yeah, it's tonight. It's going down. Lyrics and Libation open mic series at the Raw Space. So, look, she's into everything, man. She got it for the people. She doing it for the people. And you're doing it for the people when you can always be seen with the greats in the city that's doing the same thing. So shout out to her. And that's going to be each and every Wednesday, too. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to Sky and everybody on WJZZ Cool TV. And you guys may not know out there, but one of the things at the station we try to encourage everyone to build relationships with the brick and mortar businesses around the city. Not just for revitalization, but to build a culture here and to show that the culture is that we are at these places. We are here before they become big, but we are here to help them get big. So that's what Sky's doing, and that's what Sky's been doing. So shout out to Sky Covington, man. But just because I have this space right now, I'm just gonna express my love and appreciation for not only jazz, but like I come from a different space now, having worked around several great world-class jazz musicians, both vocalists and performers. We just had amazing I might slaughter this name, but Leslie DeShazer, amazing, amazing. She came down on Hot Flash Happy Hour. That's another show on WJZZ, and we're just celebrating it. I'm going to definitely try to make her event this Saturday as well. But I just wanted to express my appreciation for the leaders that's leading the movement in the revitalization of the jazz energy in Detroit, man. Like I didn't know it has so many faces. I didn't know that there were like so many great people, prominent people, who are choosing to take a meek role and bring in jazz back. And I just want to tell you guys, like, just having been working here for this short period of time, it's impressive on me something real. You know what I mean? And to be more active. Don't just talk about it. These people actually are talking about it and they're being about it. They have not only events, but initiatives and charities and organizations and blight control and cleaning up the city. I'm going to post some stuff on my page a little later on. I just drove around the city and saw art everywhere. Just people, some people call it graffiti art, but it's just art. Art on buildings, people that turn so-called trash into art. And I'm inspired. But what I see with the leaders of the jazz movement of Detroit, they are choosing, and this is the beautiful part, they are choosing to start right here. Because they've already been all over the world. That's why I say it's the beautiful part. They've been all over this globe, but they're choosing to continue to work from the bottom up. And that's just me. I was watching a documentary yesterday about the Bad Boy Pistons. And one of the things Dennis Rodman said he was brought to Detroit to do was the dirty work. And I feel like that's what I'm brought here to do. I'm here to do the dirty work. So if you see me with the dirt under my nails, don't feel bad for me. If you want to help me out and do my nails, you can help me out. You know what I mean? But if you see me with the locks a little bit disheveled, all right, that's not a reflection of how I carry myself. No, it's not. But I'm here to do the dirty work. You know what I mean? I'm here to do what I'm here to do. Sometimes I ain't got time to be beautified. Wait a minute, let me make sure I'm playing Sky, because I don't want Facebook police to shut me down. Even if I gotta play. Let's get this Sky Covington mix going on. I just love listening to her voice, man. I love the energy. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing when your energy complements what you choose to do with it and what you choose to say. Sky does that. But yeah, man, I just really want to tell the Mike Mumfords of the world, the Sky Covingtons of the world, Jimmy Alteri, I hope I said that name right, and Rhythm and Blues, the Tasha Owens of the world. I just want to send my thanks. You know what I mean? Get going into the blues, jazz, and rock. The Sonic Souls, Al Bracey's, Rockstar Reynolds of the world. And look, man, listen, thank you, fellas. You know I love you guys. And I've been working closely with Dawn, just engineering her shows. I think we got Sky coming. Is this Sky? Hey, Sky Covington in the house. Shout out to Dot. I love you too. All you guys. All right, look, I'm getting out the way. Sky Covington.
Hello, beloved.
How are ya? You know I'm feeling.
Red cup.
I got to sit on the throne today. I got to sit on the throne.
Oh my goodness.
All right, you enjoy the rest
thank
of
you,
the episode?
beloved. Thank
Yes.
you. All right. I love my family here. Hello, everyone. Let me get myself together. Hi. Hi, everybody. My goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. Hello, everyone. Let me see you. Hello. Wow, it seems like forever. It really does. I know why it seems like forever, because last week we weren't here because of the electricity. So we're here. And I'm grateful. We just want to give a few. I gotta find another word for shots because I don't like getting another shot. Bah, 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 bah. Shots out to Madison Lee is in town, everyone, and she has some wonderful news for you. Madison, if you're watching, give us a call and tell us the good news, okay? I'm so grateful for today. Happy Wednesday. Happy well, welcome to the Preservation of Jazz Hour, y'all. You're watching again the Preservation of Jazz Hour with your hostess, yours truly, Sky Covington, also known as Nikki O, and also known as Ya Bella. Let's see. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ, the coolest station in the world. And there's a fan behind me. Okay, so for my beautiful people, excuse my tardiness, but yeah, it's no excuse. Never an excuse. I apologize. It's never an excuse for that. But I am having a ball. I picked up another gig, and if anybody knows me, I love to cook. So I'm cooking for a gentleman and a few other families. Not. I guess you could say that. It's not a lie. It's not exaggerated. But I'm cooking for a few people, and I prepare their meals for the week, and it's so much love in that. And I've been listening to Kathleen Battle with that, and I also been listening to the beautiful Hazel Scott. Let me tell you, Hazel Scott, I watched a documentary on it yesterday, and it was absolutely beautiful. And it was like, what happened? What happened to Hazel Scott? Well, first of all, she's from Trinidad. Born jazz and classical pianist and singer and actor. She was critically acclaimed performing artist and an outspoken critic for racial discrimination and segregation. She would not perform in any segregated venues. And there was one story where she was on a set doing a movie, and the women in the movie, the chorus, they put the black women in these dirty aprons, and she was not having it. And in her contract, even in the early 20s, she stood her ground, and she stood her ground, and it just gave me so much hope. So let me finish. She used her influence to improve the representation of Black Americans in film. So in her contract, also, she would have to play herself, but she would not play a prostitute or a maid. So I got to thinking today. Got James Brown on here. I got to thinking, me being a jazz artist, okay, me being a jazz artist, I do struggle with the ask, okay? And I've been doing a lot of research lately. I've been pumping my own spirit up against being having people like me, and just being about my business. So I've come to a lot of readiness. I've come into a lot of womanness, and a lot of, not that I don't care, but I don't have to worry about how other people feel about the gift that I'm giving. And as a jazz artist, that means a lot, because I don't want to be a person, a musician, that has to sell her whole self to get attention in this industry. I just don't want to do that. I do have a gift. We all have gifts, and I love jazz. And you know, I just I've been doing some studying and listening to other artists. I was just watching the Sammy Davis, uh, the Sammy Davis tribute, and I was floored and very inspired by the things that they were saying about the late Sammy Davis Jr., his friends. I mean, Whitney Houston, Stevie Wonder, Eddie Murphy, Frank Sinatra, and that song, I gotta be me, I gotta be me. That song we will play before the hour is out. Let me just share this too. That Bill Myers will be calling in at about 6:40. Okay, so we'll get to talk to Bill Myers. If you know anything about Bill Myers, I'm gonna keep that all to myself. Um, Mostly because I don't have my notes. But what I can tell you about Bill Myers myself is that he's been at Bert's hosting a jazz jam, for over 15 years. I actually got some of my start on that stage that Bill Myers provided and Bert Deering provided. I They would laugh at me because initially I was a poet transitioning to artist, singer. I was a writer. I've always been a writer. I've always sung in the choir and all that. But going to the jazz jam on Thursdays, I received so many opportunities. And then one day, and going back and forth to New Orleans, if anyone knows my story, I lived in New Orleans for 15 years going back. And then I came home. And then I said, I want to do this. First of all, I want to clean up my slate, you know, my kids' slate, my teenage slate, my 20s slate, and my early 30s slate. I want to clean this stuff up. I want to get focused on my jazz, and that's what I want to become. And so Bill Myers, Harold Bowles, Bert Deering, Jay Deering, those cats, they really helped. Teddy Harris, I came in on the very end of Teddy Harris, but I met Marcus Belgrave in New Orleans at the Funky Butt. And I just want to get back to Hazel, because this is what this is about. Just talking about what she had brought, what I adapted to her. I adapted to her and to this to her story so fast. Born June 11th, Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. She died October 2nd, 1981, age 61, which was really young. Mount Sinai Hospital, Manhattan, New York, U.S. Known for the Black American, and she had her own show way before Diane Carroll, way before all of those women, Oprah and all of our sisters. The Hazel Scott Show. Now, what happened? What happens? Just like what happens in the midst of everything. And another thing that I was watching, I got sound like Wendy Williams. I've been watching a little bit of Wendy Williams. I'm just watching some talk shows and everything because I really want to relay and present to you a great story, and to be myself. But I owe you a service to bring some information to you. So that's why I'm so excited. I may be jumping around, but I want to keep my spirit and my focus because I do tend to move over to Hazel Scott. Okay, so let's see. Born in Port of Spain, Scott moved to New York City with her mother at the age of 4. Scott was a child musical prodigy, receiving scholarships to study at the Juilliard School when she was 8. In her teens, she performed in a jazz band. She also performed on the radio. She was prominent as a jazz singer throughout the 1930s and 1940s. And again, this is the Preservation of Jazz Hour. We love the Preservation of Jazz Hour. We love from late 1890s till the I would say like 1954 is like where, for me, some of the best love songs, some of the best clean music was created. Scott became the first Black America to host her show. We talked about that, the Hazel Scott Show. Go ahead and check that out tonight. Her career in America faltered after she testified before the House Un-American Activity Committee in 1950 during the McCarthy era. Scott subsequently moved to Paris in 1957, and began performing in Europe, not returning to the United States until 1967. So you already know what that story is about. So watching her doc last night, I felt, and watching her play and doing all of these wonderful tricks of the trade and just creating, because I'm sure that she catapulted a lot of what we see today in our musicians. She was drop dead gorgeous. Also, Colin Powell. I'm almost sure that she married Colin Powell. Yep, yes she did. And he was definitely in his teens and in his early 20s and 30s. This man, he had fire. He was so fiery. So I did tell you that I was going to get that information for you for the Grammys, for my jazz musicians that's watching. So, in addition to exclusive access to the GrammyPro.com community, the Recording Academy provides members with resources designed specifically for the recording industry professionals. Benefits cover a wide range of categories important to music professionals. How to have access to GrammyPro.com. Okay, first of all, go sign up, because these are the things that people don't tell you unless you are college bred and then you have mentors and everything. Unlike myself, I've decided that I'm going back to school, that I will become some sort of teacher, and so I'm really excited about that. But I don't have college education. Everything that I experienced was just being on the road. It's totally on the road. Now, is that the way to be? I would say that no, it's not the way to be, because what you have to do in the industry is you have to do everything. Get some school, get some streets, get some sweets, get some heartbreaks, get some community, get some love, get some family. You can't exist in the jazz community with just being a jazz artist, because your notes become flat and you're hanging on a string trying to just be that. You can't just be that. The world is not designed for us to just be a jazz musician. And I am so grateful that I realized that, because you have to have a fruitful life. You can't just be, and nobody, and I tell you, for people that like to call jazz women divas, nobody really, I personally, nobody really likes that. especially people that read, people that investigate words. Diva has a very it's put on a pedestal of a compliment, but it isn't. Because in any instant, musicians, they come to share and to be of service. And I'm learning all this just through my research and just through experience. That no, we don't want to be called divas, and I don't mind being called a chanteuse when I'm at the club. But I'm working on the stuff. I'm being created like a beautiful jazz tune. So, enough about me. You're watching the Preservation of Jazz Hour live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. So we're going to take a little breath for a bit, because there's something great happening in the world, and we want to be a part of it. So in that due process, I would like for us to take a moment, a jazzy moment of silence for the musicians that we have lost through the COVID-19 pandemic. We lost a lot. We've lost a lot. And I don't want to even downsize by saying the word a lot. We lost greatness. Although I believe that the greatness is resting, I do believe that there's something else for us. But a lot of people may not, and a lot of family members, you can say that till you're clearly blue in the face. And you're eating plum pie and all that good stuff. But the truth is, we're going to just give a moment of silence to some of the greatest musicians of our lives that passed away in the span of these 3 years. Hallelujah. All right. So last week we were going to cover some events. So the Shane Park is open every Wednesday. You can go see it. Now, this is the thing. I'm here on Wednesday, and I know there's other stuff to do, but we can share. If you're going to be at the Shane Park every Wednesday, I can dig that. I hope that you're getting a few dollars for that commitment. But we can all share. It's a lot of things going on, and the luxury about my show is that you can watch it anytime, because we are my favorite time to watch it is on YouTube, because I'm a YouTube girl. I watch a lot of YouTube. Watch a lot of. I even watch Roland Martin and all those cats. Phil. I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. So that's my choice. But we were supposed to talk about the events for last Wednesday. So I did make some notes. Kirk Whalen, and last year I was so grateful that I had the opportunity, not last year but the year before, to perform, to open up. Postmodern Jukebox, one of my favorite bands, Mickey Braden, of course. She's done an album. You have to go check that out. The Detroit Jazz Festival will be back in person this year. Music in the Park, City Hall Park in Dearborn. Go check that out. Jacob Collier. Oh, May 14th through the 15th. All right. TNT Big Band, Sunday 2:30 to 5:30. American Legion 46146 Cass Avenue. The Woodbridge Pub. I host, whether I'm there or not, an event for you. Woodbridge Pub from 7 to 11, 5169 Trumbull, right behind Wayne State football field. And we do that. We do that every Sunday, and I'm super excited about that. Why am I super excited about everything that I'm saying? Because this is the thing. Man, you got to stay in the game of living life and dreams and serving. So it's my service. So I do understand overexposure, but the jam sessions, that's for the people. You have to respect any musician that hosts and puts on jam sessions, because that, I tell you, is a testament of their character. Because we need jam sessions. That's how we connect. That's how we get gigs. That's how we multiply our musician phone book, and that's just how we roll. So that's very important. So we have Lettuce, Thursday, November 18th, Friday, November 19th, the Majestic Theater, Nick Fencer, Detroit Jazz Festival in Harper Woods, Music in the Park, let's see, Concerts in the Garden, Sam Wright and Friends. I do know Scott Grinnell has a jam on Sunday. And I do know Bill Myers has a jam every Thursday. And, I have good news for you as well. I'm starting a new show right after this show, Exploring Poetry, the Beatnik Experience. Will go live every Wednesday right after this show from 7 to 8. And you all know that I was hoping and I was praying that I could get another hour. Well, I'm so grateful to get this hour, because I get to explore and I get to be a little more open and a little more controversial and a little more politically incorrect is for me what poetry is. And I get to experience that. Now, am I being politically correct on this show? No, because we don't really have to talk about any of that. You know that jazz comes from where that comes from. You know it comes from pain. So when I say jazz, it comes from a place of pain and pleasure from pain and goals of returning to a time when things were simple and returning to a time when things was tough. So jazz is not, although I do have some jazz poems, but jazz is not poetry. But you can do poetry with jazz. But jazz for me, again, it's not the street music, but it's the language that we created to not say what we were feeling, but to convey it in a very classical way. So for me, jazz is a type of classical music. And that, again, is what I love about Hazel Scott. Because Hazel Scott and she could turn classical music into jazz. And for me, I didn't catch exactly what she was doing because it all reminded me of the same thing. So let's go. It's 6:34, ladies and gentlemen, jazz cats and jazz kitties. Let's go to Hazel Scott right now. And just in case you haven't heard, let's see. Let's go to Hazel Scott singing. So remember, Hazel Scott, let's see here. Ooh, she's doing round midnight. Okay, please. You have homework tonight. Go to Hazel Scott, everyone. Go to her. Love her. Okay. So this tune here is called On a Foggy Day. And she was beautiful. That's Hazel Scott on piano, by the way. Ah, don't you hate when that happens? All right. That was Hazel Scott. That is Hazel Scott. So you have homework tonight. Check her out. Show her love. Show her some love. And yeah, that's everything. That's everything. That's absolutely everything. Now, one thing that I loved about Hazel Scott, I'm gonna have to share with you. One thing that I loved about is that she was. We tend to think, or I have been taught to think. Let me just that we were just slaves, and it just wasn't the case. And even when we were just slaves for that amount of time, when someone is about to do a big heist, they do their homework. They do their homework, and if they're actually gonna collect a large amount of people, this thing doesn't just happen like I'm gonna play 336 at the lottery. Okay, so I want to get back to that, but you know what I'm saying. We are better than what we think we are all the time, and our music and our all the things that we are. It keeps reminding us, and the jazz. Keep listening to jazz because there is Hazel Scott. She did something great. So we have one of my mentors, Bill Myers, is on the phone right now. Hello, Bill. Hello there. Hello there. Oh, that looks like. That does look like. That looks. Oh no. Bill, are you there? Hello there.
Hello there, Sky. The sky is beautiful.
Oh my, we're having such a wonderful time right now. And so
I wish I would have been there, but I was in a meeting. I couldn't watch the show. Sorry.
No, it's okay. We're going to have you in the studio anytime. You can come down anytime and spend some time with us. Bill Myers, ladies and gentlemen. Yay!
Oh, then I'm going to have to shave and all that, right?
You don't have to. You can do what you want to do. You're a jazz artist. However you want to look. I just flicked my collar up so I can look like...
That's right. That's why I'm a jazz artist. I don't have to dress up.
Yeah, because, you can stomp like, you can do what you want to do. Depends on what song you playing.
That's right.
So
I wish that was the truth, but it ain't the truth. So anyways,
well, this is what I'm learning. I was watching Hazel Scott. That's what we were talking about.
Oh my God! What an amazing musician! Whoa.
Yeah. So okay. So that's why I paired you all together because I was watching her documentary, and so we have the late Hazel Scott, and then we have the here now Bill Myers. A popular dance band for over 30 years, part of the acclaimed SBH. This was back in the day, though. SBH Trio.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it's changed a bit at Burt's Marketplace.
Yeah, it went from SBH to RGB to BMG, and now we've been here 20 years, celebrating 20 years.
20 years. Excellent. Excellent. So what's going on now? Let's get right into it.
So what's going on now?
Yeah, what's going on with you now in your music? How do you...
In my music world, well, that's the thing. I don't only have a music world, and I'm doing a lot of stuff in my other world. But I'm a political activist, and I've been involved with the Haiti thing and the Cuba thing, and a whole bunch of stuff. Black Lives Matter, wherever there's injustice, I've been an activist most of my life. So I'm dealing with that and using music as much as possible in those arenas. But they're trying to overthrow the Cuban government now. The latest protests and Haiti just, got the president assassinated, and the U.S. is going to go and take it over. It's just stay out of Haiti and stay out of Cuba. Why? The U.S. has got to stop this empire building. It's not going to work.
Yes.
But that's not music. So talking about music, yes. Musically, I'm doing more things now that COVID's over with. Is it over? I mean, it's slowed down anyways. I'm doing this thing with at the Kimmy Horn Jazz Festival, which you know about because Kimmy's always works with you a lot, and I'm thrilled that she asked me to be the opening act for her festival in August, Friday the 13th. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. And then I'm doing a bunch of other things, but it's fun to be a sideman on some of the gigs. And my Bill Meyer group is doing the Jazz on the Lawn concert we do every year with Marjorie Gabriel over at the church in the East Side. It's an outdoor festival. We're doing that again this year, and we missed it last year. They didn't do it because of COVID. So that's a fun festival. Just a whole bunch of stuff, little things, but not as much as in my old days when I used to work 7 to 10 gigs a day a week. I mean, it was like crazy. Now it's I get to pick and choose what I want to do, and it's much more fun. I work with who I like to work with.
That's excellent. Well, I want to go back to what you were saying is what you're doing in your political in your life outside of music, because I believe that it's all of what we're doing is that plays a part in how you play in your music. That we can't just be one thing. And I do hear I call you again. We're neighbors. And we live in Hamtramck. We call it Hamtramck, Detroit. And I really do. I really believe that there's a thing with Hamtramck and Detroit. We're on the outskirts, and Hamtramck is a beautiful place. But I do believe that you can tell where a person is in their life through their community work. What do you think about that?
Of course, yeah. We're a product of our environment, of our history, of our family, everything. That's why we're all different, because we had each different experiences, and we all grow up and like some things and don't like other things and decide to do this. That's the beauty of the variety of life, and hopefully most people choose the good things. Some people get into unfortunate destructive forces and ruin their lives sometimes, and it's sad to see that happen. But fortunately, I've been being a white male in this country, which is definitely a white supremacist kind of government, for since it started out wiping out all the Native American, wiping out a lot of them out, and pretty much using slavery to build up all the buying power in the country. I can't help it. I was born white, and I have no choice. But I learned long ago that some people are treated more unjustly than others, and it's no fun when some people don't get what they deserve. And I feel we're all better off if we all get treated not equally, but at least fairly and respectfully. So that's where I'm at, even though I'm white and I could probably not care about any of that stuff and still go through life like a lot of people do and say there's no such thing as racism and, it's your own problem and sort of stuff like that. I can't act like that. But that's me because of my history. I grew up in a different environment, different people. My parents didn't influence me that way. I was raised by my mother, who was Canadian and really wasn't a racist. She came from Canada, and we never really, when I was young, I don't ever remember saying anything negative about anybody, people of color or nothing. We lived in an Italian community, a black community, and it was never a problem. So, but people who were born in America, maybe in a racist community, what choice do they have other than to grow up probably thinking that way and all that? It takes a lot of work to learn to like each other, and it's hard to do that when. Anyways, that's not music. It's a music show. So, music to me is the same as life. So, I mean, I put politics and music, everything is political in my mind. Everything has to do with society and politics.
Yes.
Some people don't want to say that, but I believe that. So I use a lot of that in my work blatantly, and it's it upsets some people, but other people it opens their mind, and they work, and we work together on those issues. And I've met a lot of great musicians. I've gotten to like a lot of great musicians because of their activism and because of their politics. So that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Like Alan Denard, and just a whole bunch of young guys. David Vasella. There's a lot of cats who come into Tariq Gardner, the ones who come into Burt's and do our jam sessions. I've seen them working with Black Lives Matter, and I'm very impressed with their commitment to society. We have a choice of working for ourselves or working for the world. If we work for the world, then ourselves get better also. If we work just for ourselves, then the rest of the world doesn't get affected that much. So I feel like my approach is more worldly. As a matter of fact, I now consider myself a world citizen because I actually have a card that states I'm a world citizen. I don't like boundaries. I don't like saying your city's better than mine or nothing like that, or your ethnic group is better than mine, or none of that. I try to treat as much equality and everything as I can do, but there is an organization, the World Service Authority, that offers passports and everything for world citizenship. And I discovered this about 3-4 years ago at my 75th birthday party. I had a big thing there and invited my friends to join, and a lot of them joined and became world citizens. And it allows you to have passports to travel around the world where you don't have to worry about your country, and you're a world citizen. And it's a much better concept than thinking you belong to one little small country or whatever. So I've tried to think of life in that way now, as a world citizen as much as possible.
Well, the thing with me with my show, it's the preservation of jazz, is to also to talk about all that hard stuff. And for me, when you say that, whether you're black, white, or whatever color you are, or nationality you are, that if you are into jazz, then the hardships and the discord. And all those things that make that's for me. That's why I decided to not be, because people were like saying, "Oh, you're like Grace Jones." No, I wanted to be something that I could change. I could make a change, and I was sharing with the audience about you being, and I don't know if you know this, but you and Bert Deering and the guys that have been my mentors through the years, because I've been very, I thought that being provocative was a way to be, but the service, my music and my appreciation for music changed when I took a side, and so I want you to know that you might be a different color, but the fact that you play jazz a lot less people know that you are for the community, because jazz, that language is to a lot of people it can be foreign to a lot of people, but
Yes.
jazz has embraced and is a bridge for us, you know.
It is, and it's definitely identified with the African American culture, and it is the only art form that the United States has offered to the world. This is
Yes.
the only art form that we created in the United States, and it was African American, and it's something to be proud of. And it's not just jazz. Obviously, I love all kinds of music. 'Cause
Yeah, of course.
all cultures have great
Yes.
music, but by working in with black music and black musicians in the black community and all that, it does show respect, because I've always had clear, you got to walk a mile in my shoe kind of thing, and
Yeah.
and the more you live in the community, the more you learn about the problems and the communications and all the things that are important to learn, how the feelings and history, and I'm trying to do that in every community I can. I play with a Latin band. I try to learn as much as I can about the Latino experience.
Yes, yes.
Here I'm in Hamtramck. There's Muslims here that were close friends. I'm trying to study their history and their culture, and it just enriches my life and helps me get closer to other people and realize that human beings are all the same. We all have a heart. We all have a brain. We all have the same needs in life. So if you can get to that point and realize that we all have something to offer, and it's exciting when you look at it that way, because then you don't have hatred and you don't have war. And I'm an anti-war activist. I don't like to see violence. I don't like people yelling at each other and putting down each other because they're this or that. Certainly if they're doing something bad or wrong, you want to stop it and all that. But
Yeah.
I don't believe in going to another country and trying to take over their country and starting a war to do it. So that's why I'm an anti-imperialist, actually, and I'm opposed to what we're doing in the Middle East and certainly now in Latin America with Venezuela and Cuba and Haiti. I mean, it's just one thing after another. We're trying to expand our power and be the police of the world. And the time has come. It's changing. But that's another life. That's another world. But music, I'm sorry, I don't want to get into that, but I know you're into that, and I know that you're one of those people who knows this connection, and I appreciate everything you do, because you're valuable to the community. You're real, and you connect the dots, and you know and you worked with Isaac Robinson, who was a hero of both of ours.
Yeah.
He had the same sense of sensitivity to what's going on. He knew all that stuff, and he was hip. And even though he was a white guy working in a black community, there was never color was important. And I would like to get to the point where it isn't important, but until it is, you have to work to fight for justice.
Right.
You have to do that, or else we'll never get to that point.
Yeah, and it's okay. I realize it's okay for it to be. It's okay for us to It's okay, but it's okay for us to have that discussion, and that's why I'm grateful that that we have. I mean, and of course we love all type of music. But sometimes I think with jazz has afforded us the conversation to have, to be kind of stretch and be a little political. You're listening to Thelonious Monk, you're drinking some good red wine and these little glasses that you found from the resale shop, and there's and you know what I mean, and you're doing some cheese, and everybody's laying their troubles on the table, and then when it gets too thick, we put on a little jazz.
I was always impressed with you when we had you as our guest at Perth, and you were one of the few artists that came in and brought scarves and candles and lights and stuff, and set up the whole stage into such a beautiful environment. And you realize that it's not only music; it's everything. It's everything. The beauty of the odor, the looks, it's all important. And
it's so important.
And you expanded beyond the music itself. That was important.
So what can we? Okay, so Thursday we have to be. What time should we be there tomorrow? At Bert's?
Well, tomorrow, we play at Bert's outside, and we've been getting hundreds of people showing up. It's been really good, really successful, and we're playing outside in front of the building. And it rained last week, right up until we started half an hour late.
Okay.
But from 7 to 10, we're only playing 3 hours outside. It's live streamed, so it's available on our Facebook page, which is Bill Meyer Group.
Bill Meyer's
page.
Group. Go to Bill Meyer's Group. Okay.
Yeah, MEYER Group Facebook page, and there's videos from live streaming for the last year, actually. We started it last year. And all the amazing guests that come down there and join us, and some nights are way better than others, but there's no bad nights at all. It's always fun. And there's no cover charge, although we pass the bucket around if anybody wants to throw in the tips for the band. But other than that, if you want to perform, it's not open mic anymore. We call people up that we know and try to make a good program out of it, because we were getting some people who had absolutely no experience at all and no talent at all either for singing or playing. And we realized we just can't open it up to everybody, because the audience doesn't want to do that. So we have to please the audience also, and but we want everybody to feel part of it. So it's a hard decision to make, because we don't like to turn anybody down from performing, but we have to have some standards of some sort. So we now are asking for just our professional friends to come and join us, because there's enough of those in the city that can entertain our audience and have fun. And we want to discover new people. So I mean, tips or ideas on people who are good and can join us, they're invited. But we want to make it a family feeling. That's the way it's been for 20 years. And a community. It's a community program, as you know. You've been part of it many times.
Bill, we love you. We appreciate you. We celebrate you. What I try not to do is celebrate, but I uplift the community, and you inspire us, because we have to stop kind of celebrating each other. We need to just need to love each other and do the best we can, and not worship each other, but just do the best we can to keep everything going. I believe in you. You have, and I don't know if you even know that. Thank you for all the years that you gave me, those little moments of that I could grow in music. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, you're listening to Bill Myers, our special guest, and you are watching the Preservation of Jazz hour. The show is over, and we love you. We have to go, and we're going to have Bill on, and I'm going to get Bill in this. I'm going to get Bill in this seat. We got to get you, Bill. I love you, and I thank you.
Thank you so much, for thinking of me to be there. I appreciate it.
Yes. Good
All
night.
the best to your listeners.
All right. Good night, y'all. Okay.
Good night.